An Indian railway minister has revealed an electric signal error appears to have caused the railway crash that claimed more than 300 victims. The signal fault meant one of the two high-speed passenger trains was travelling on the wrong track. The news came as engineers worked to remove the mangled carriages from the line.
Major part was the removal of capsized coaches and wagons. So last night all the capsized coaches and wagons have been removed from site. Now the major part left is the restoration of track, जो रेल की पटरी होती है उसको बिछाना और जो ओवरहेड वायर होती है तो ओएचई वायर जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, visiting some of the 800 people being treated in hospital after the crash, vowed to punish those responsible. It's been revealed the two express trains were carrying 2,296 people when the crash happened on Friday. Saturday night in Dnipro in central Ukraine, and rescuers search for survivors after Russian airstrikes on a residential area of the city. They were to find dozens of wounded people as they searched using bare hands and cutting equipment. A 2-year-old girl was killed in the attack. President Volodymyr Zelensky shared pictures of the rescuers on Facebook and condemned the attack on civilians, saying once again Russia has shown itself to be a terrorist state. Kyiv also came under fire on Saturday, with the city's administration reporting its air defences foiled a 3-hour aerial assault. On the other side of the border, the governor of Belgorod claimed 2 Russians were killed on Saturday by Ukrainian shell fire. The city's playing host to thousands of displaced people from villages closer to the border with Ukraine who fled after cross-border incursions. Showing their rejection of violence and gun culture, tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets of Serbia's capital, Belgrade. They were calling for President Aleksandar Vučić to stand down, holding him responsible for promoting violence and hate speech that they say led to 2 mass shootings last month that left 18 people dead, including schoolchildren. The populist president rejected their calls.
Many people rallied in Serbia's capital for a 5th time in a month following 2 mass shootings that shook the country. The crowds chanting slogans against President Vučić marched through the city center and gathered in front of his downtown office. University students led the march, holding a banner that read "Serbia against violence," which is the main slogan of the protests. Some media report that this was the biggest protest so far. Stefan Goranović, Euronews, Belgrade.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced his new cabinet on the day of his swearing in to his 3rd presidential term. In a sign his new government might pursue more conventional economic policies, he put former banker Mehmet Şimşek, a former finance minister and deputy prime minister, in charge of the economy. The appointment comes as Turkey's grappling with inflation that peaked at 85% in October. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg was there, hoping to urge Turkey to approve Sweden's membership of the alliance.
3 Israeli soldiers and 1 Egyptian officer were killed along their shared border after a deadly gunfight broke out on Saturday. An Israeli military spokesperson said the fighting began overnight when soldiers thwarted a drug smuggling attempt across the border. A male and female soldier were found dead at an army post. The army said the Egyptian police officer was killed in a second exchange of fire in which a 3rd soldier was killed. Deadly violence is rare between the countries who signed a peace treaty in 1979 and maintain close security ties. It's the end of a bittersweet journey. Football club Paris Saint-Germain has confirmed Lionel Messi's departure at the end of the season after a 2-year stay. Messi, 35, played his last match for the PSG on Saturday evening against Clermont to the sounds of jeers and whistles. The Argentinian scored 32 goals in 74 matches, but the club failed to perform well in the Champions League, and for many fans, he embodied the team's shortcomings. The 7 times Ballon d'Or winner's contract is set to expire at the end of June.